Red Bull Racing's future plans for Sergio Perez have been a hot topic in F1 circles. After much speculation, GPblog has revealed that Perez will indeed stay with Red Bull and finish the 2024 season. This decision ends a lot of rumors and brings clarity to fans and the team alike. GPblog has reported that Christian Horner informed Red Bull Racing staff on Monday evening that Checo will remain with the team despite recent rumors. Horner stated, "Checo remains a Red Bull Racing driver, despite recent speculation, and we look forward to seeing him perform at tracks he has previously excelled at after the summer break." Let's talk about Red Bull's pursuit of the Constructors' title. Red Bull entered Formula One in 2005 and, within 10 years, won 4 Constructors' Championships and 4 Drivers' Championships between 2010 and 2013 with Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber. Known as the noisy neighbors during their dominant years, this relatively new F1 team challenged the established racing teams. However, the introduction of new FIA power unit regulations in 2014 saw Mercedes invest over $1 billion in research and development, which allowed them to dominate the sport for nearly 7 seasons. Even in 2021, when Lewis Hamilton lost to Max Verstappen in Abu Dhabi, Mercedes still secured their record 8th consecutive Constructors' Championship. Last season, even during Perez's mid-season dip in form, Red Bull was never at risk of losing either title. However, this year is a different story. Going into the summer break, Red Bull is only 43 points ahead of McLaren. By contrast, at this time last year, they had a 256-point lead over Mercedes in P2. Max Verstappen has won just 1 race in the last 4 as the competition closes in on the early gains Red Bull made under the new 2022 ground effect F1 car design regulations. Both McLaren and Mercedes have outscored Red Bull since the Miami Grand Prix 9 weekends ago. Points scored by the top 4 teams' key drivers are as follows: Verstappen with 141, Piastri with 126, Hamilton with 123, Norris with 116, Leclerc with 79, Sainz with 79, Russell with 79, and Perez with just 28. If McLaren continues their current form, having outscored Red Bull by an average of 9 points per race since Miami, the historic British team could overtake Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship by the time the F1 circus arrives in Austin, Texas for the US Grand Prix. This context makes Red Bull's decision to retain Perez a shock, as many paddock observers believed Perez would be replaced by Daniel Ricciardo. So why has Red Bull made a decision that appears to risk their chances of securing a 7th team championship? Perez has shown signs of improvement, offering some hope to the team. In Hungary, he delivered an excellent recovery drive, moving from P16 to P7. Checo seemed to benefit from the upgrades Red Bull brought to Budapest. Additionally, in the most recent race in Belgium, he qualified in P3 and started the race in P2, thanks to Max Verstappen's 10-place grid drop for exceeding the FIA's annual power unit component allowance. However, the race in Spa was disastrous for Checo. He lost out to Lewis Hamilton in Turn 1 due to battery deployment difficulties. Throughout the race, Perez struggled to keep pace with the other front-runners and eventually finished in P8. After George Russell's disqualification for having an underweight car, Perez was upgraded to P7. This performance highlighted the ongoing issues Perez faces, raising questions about Red Bull's decision to retain him. Despite his potential and occasional strong showings, inconsistency remains a concern. Marco is not a fan of Perez. After finishing 8th at Spa, later upgraded to 7th due to George Russell's disqualification, team boss Christian Horner couldn't hide his disappointment. However, he emphasized that nobody wants to make that decision of replacing Perez and assured that the team is behind him to help him regain his form. Dr. Marco criticized Perez's performance, stating, "Sergio had the opportunity to achieve a good result from 2nd place. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case," he added. Especially in the last stint, he completely collapsed, setting 1:48's lap times. Perez brings significant sponsorship to the team, and letting him go would mean losing funds from sponsors like Disney, Telcel, Nescafe, and KitKat. While not as substantial as the $100 million Oracle deal, these could add up to over $30 million. Additionally, during the challenging start of the season, when Christian Horner's actions were heavily scrutinized, Perez publicly supported his team boss. He contradicted Jos Verstappen by stating that the team was united behind Horner, F1's longest-standing team principal. Max Verstappen chose not to comment on the issue, which fueled rumors of his potential early departure from the team. Red Bull decisions not emotional. Red Bull is known for its tough and practical approach, shaped by both victories and setbacks. So it's unlikely that their decision to keep Perez is purely emotional, based on his support. Perez might have a few more races to prove he's improving. However, if the team's championship chances are in jeopardy, Red Bull might reconsider their decision before the next set of races, starting with Azerbaijan. The driver most affected by Red Bull's choice to keep Perez is Daniel Ricciardo. With Dr. Helmut Marko advocating for Liam Lawson to get a seat, Ricciardo currently has no contract beyond this year. Lawson's contract with Red Bull ends in the next 4 weeks, so the team needs to secure him a future deal soon to prevent him from seeking opportunities elsewhere for a full-time F1 seat. Zak Brown weighs in on Red Bull driver challenges. Red Bull sparked speculation about Sergio Perez's future by emphasizing the need for both drivers to perform well in their quest to retain the Constructors' Championship for a third consecutive year, with McLaren closing in, just 42 points behind. Perez's performance during the Belgian Grand Prix highlighted this tension. He qualified impressively, placing his Red Bull on the front row for the last race before the summer break. However, his race performance was disappointing as he dropped to 8th place, which later became 7th due to George Russell's disqualification. This result drew sharp criticism from Red Bull's senior advisor, Helmut Marko, and team principal Christian Horner. Following this criticism, it was expected that Perez might lose his seat. However, after a meeting between Horner and Marko the next day, Red Bull surprised many by announcing that Perez would remain with the team after the summer break. Zak Brown, McLaren's CEO, praised Sergio Perez as an excellent driver, but noted that Perez is currently struggling with form. Brown pointed out that McLaren is not facing similar issues with their drivers, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Norris is performing well in the Drivers' Championship, holding second place with 199 points, while Piastri is close behind in fourth with 167 points. When asked by Sky Sports F1 about his reaction to Red Bull's decision to retain Perez, Brown expressed surprise. He suggested that Red Bull might face challenges due to this decision. "Yeah, it's a tricky one," Brown said. He explained that Red Bull is in a complex situation with 2 teams and a young driver program, finding themselves with one driver leading the championship and another in 7th place. Brown acknowledged Perez's capabilities, noting that he is a proven race winner. However, he also mentioned that Perez's current performance issues are problematic. "I don't know all that's going on there, but yeah, it's for them to sort out," Brown concluded. He added with a hint of relief, "I'm happy I don't have driver challenges." Perez's speculation is over. It was well known that Red Bull's management would meet on Monday to discuss Sergio Perez's future, given his recent struggles. His performance has been underwhelming, putting the team's chance of winning the Constructors' Championship at risk. After the latest Grand Prix in Belgium, Red Bull's external advisor, Helmut Marko, was especially critical of Perez, fueling rumors that his time with the team might be ending. Despite these concerns, team principal Christian Horner and Marko have decided to retain Perez for now. Perez is under contract with Red Bull until the end of 2025, with an option for an additional year. Despite the speculation surrounding his position, Perez has consistently stated that he believes his seat at Red Bull is secure. So, what do you think of the Red Bull's shocking decision about Perez? Comment below your views and subscribe for more such videos.